Hello folks and welcome back to Parkitect. We're here in Biscayne Beach today. It's a bustling beach city that provides a strip of land for the development of a theme park under the condition that the rides have to be free. The winters can be pretty rainy and otherwise you can expect perfect beach weather. With an experience rating of 80, 600 guests in the park, cleanliness of 75, and get everything done by year 2. So let's take a look and see. It looks like we just have this big long strip. Which is totally fine. And then we have, all of our stuff is way down there. Interesting. Let's take a look and see. We even have a depot here that doesn't have any stuff set up to it yet. All right, interesting. But if we go underground, nope, there we go. And take a look here. All right, so that's going all the way out there. Let's see, can we buy any extra land or lease any land? Do we have? Nope. Okay, so this is just what we have here, that whole area. All right. Looks fun. We have a bunch of rides here that we're going to have to make some indoor because they said it's going to rain a lot and we want to make sure our guests can go on things. We have an okay selection of these guys. At least we have a wooden coaster, but not a whole lot to go on here. And food and beverage wise, what are we looking at? Not a whole lot there either. Okay, so let's take a look here and see where we want to begin. And what we want to do, we're going to leave that as a thrill ride and we'll bring that up. I think the first order of business here is to make an out and back wooden coaster. That's just going to go down this way, curve around, and then come back. I think that's the most basic thing that we can start off with, and then we'll kind of figure out what we're doing from there. We do have a healthy budget, which is excellent. Always a fan of that. So let's start off here. We want this thing to really, let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's get rid of that. So I'm going to start this up a little higher because what I want to do here, let's move that down out of the way. I'm going to build this. It's going to go down. We'll go with S-bend and then turn. So I need a lot more space for that to happen. So let's go back here. Alright, so we're going to go down, over, S-bend out, and then, nope, that's not going to work. Alright, what we can do though is we can get rid of this stuff. That's not going to work for us right now. We'll figure that out later. And the only reason I really want to focus on trying to get this is to get it as out of the way as possible for this park. I think it makes more sense. So we're going to build a relatively steep lift hill here because I want this thing to get up and out of the way quickly and to do, you know, the coaster thing and do everything we needed to do there. So 9.5 is where we're at tops wise. And again, this is just going to be a really typical out and back kind of coaster. Nothing crazy, nothing special. Just doing the coaster thing. Going out and around. So let's just double check. So it comes up. We just want to make sure it's good as far as the height goes for most of the stuff. Passes that, no problem. Should be a little faster on this one. Cool. This one, same thing. All right, great. And then we're going to bring that up around here, come back down, and then we'll have them curve. Or do we want to do something like this? Because this back area is kind of a dead spot for us right now. So we could do something real simple like this. I just don't like how high that has to come up, so we'll do the lower version of that. And we'll shrink that bad boy up a whole bunch. And we're wasting a little space over in this area here. I think we could probably put maybe a place for our staff house to go. Alright, get something like that. And I don't think I've ever built a on-ride photo on my rides on here, but I think this is going to be the first one where we need to do that because this is going to be quite the experience, and we also need to generate a little extra money. So we're going to try doing something like that. I really dislike supports that get cut out by that stuff. Alright. Settle that bad boy in like so. Put a brake run in there. Just regular brakes. Let's see, what do we want to do here? Bring them to 10, and then a block brake section. Let's make it a little shorter because this is going to be another station right there. Alright, so we're going to increase the lift hill speed to 10. We're going to have 2 trains. Do we want the 4, the 2, or the 6? So the 2 looks like that. 4 or the 6. The 2 doesn't make sense. I think 4 is fine. And we'll increase the length of that to be the max size of that. Taking a look here, we'll just see what it does. Oh, and I still need to put the cameras on here. So that's going to happen, I think, right around that drop. And then it comes into the brakes. And I'm pretty happy with that. The intensity is not going to be super high on that, and I'm fine with that because it just flat out can't be. So let's go back here. Take a look. We have our on-ride cameras. Alright, so we use space to rotate the object. We can bring it up. So we can do something like that. Okay, I think that'll work. Okay, that's fine. And then we just need to put our entrance and exits here. Again, we're not going to go too crazy with anything here because... So we'll test that. It has very high excitement rating. Actually, we're just going to open that. We're not allowed to charge any money for that. I don't know if I can charge money for on-ride photos. I didn't look at that beforehand. Oops. So we'll find out. Alright, we're going to do our basic line there. We're going to go with just a slightly darker area for that line. Let's see here. Where am I at? No. So get rid of that there. And then we'll have that come out to some type of boardwalk. Whoops. Wrong line type. There we go. Okay. We're going to get rid of these paths here because we do not need them. We're going to redo this area here. So we're going to have our food area set up over here. Guests are going to come out. And then we'll fill this whole area in like so. Guess we'll do that, and that will look a little bit cleaner, a little better for what we want. We're gonna have to reestablish our spot there, and then we can throw in burgers, or excuse me, hot dogs, soft drinks. They really don't want us to be able to see all this. We're going to hide some of the stuff here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring this up a little more, and I can put a staff house back there and hide that. So we'll put our staff room right there, and then we can go in and put in our hot dog stands, our soft drinks, We'll do umbrellas. And there's going to be an information kiosk right at the front there. So do something like that. So all of these guys, we'll add on 1, 2, 3. And then we need to build that into some type of structure. Ooh, we do have some additional theming that I haven't seen before or haven't turned off. We have the fantasy theming, which honestly my favorite, but that's okay. We're going to quickly just throw on some of this more basic kind of stuff because it's not super important for what we need right now, I don't think. So that whole area is just going to be set up as this. I know the park doesn't own that. Didn't mean to click there. All right. So go in, do something like that. As far as roofing goes, this is a beach area, so it needs to be a little bit more fun. So we're gonna choose a little bit more fun colors. Maybe we'll go with this darker blue. Try to get some ocean vibes out of this. And then that guy's also gonna get that darker blue. And then we definitely need to put in some borders here because our guest happiness rating is one of the things that we need to, I think that's one of the things we have to be concerned about. We'll find out real soon, won't we? But I do want to make sure that we have all of the basic parts of this set up so it looks nice. And then we'll put it on the back too, even though that does not matter one bit. We'll do that. Our hauler, get you in there, and you are going to have a work zone, Miss Cynthia Walters. Your work zone is going to be that. Welcome to your work zone. All right, we'll get a couple of our janitorial staff set up here. A single mechanic and some security. I think 2 security will be more than enough. All right, we'll build a station for this in a second. We're going to put a bathroom in here as well. And that should be good. And I haven't really paid attention to pricing on this stuff most of the time so far, but on this one we're going to have to pay attention to it since one of our goals is not to have the rides are all free. So we're going to go with $4 for that, make us a cool $3. This one here, making 50 cents, so that's going to be $4, make us a cool $3. This one here, let's go $5, make us a cool $3.50. All right, and then inside of here, we do make 50 cents for park map stuff. That's fine. I'm not too worried about that. Let's just very quickly add on some type of beachy kind of feel for this. So we're going to have a 2-tiered station as far as height goes, I think. And then we can kind of explore that a little bit more. So let's get the basic of this set up. Going to be something like this. And let's see, as far as roofing goes, we had some cooler roofs that I haven't really seen much of. These guys, these look neat. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to make that open and have that roof go across here and then a lower tier one. See, that staircase is a little bit of a problem, but we can solve around that. So we'll do something like this for the first stage. And then there's going to be another one. I need to build the walls for it, but there'll be a higher stage one back here that will go through that. And I think that should look all right. So let's go back over into our wall area, find out where these are at. And we'll keep it as a square stuff. So go in and do that. Alright, so we'll do something, I think that looks okay. So we'll do that stuff. I guess I could put walls back there, but I don't think that's really necessary. As far as roofing goes, we'll go back to our cool little, I don't know what kind of roofs these are, but they look neat. I would love to round those off, but I don't want to spend the time to do all of that. So just go through and put these in place, and then we can use these guys. And then we'll have to go to our regular roofs, grab our color here. And that looks good enough for right now. This area here could be something, or just an area for a little tree or something. Let's talk about our rides here. So, strangely enough, we could throw a Ferris wheel in here. We have nowhere to put the line for it, but it's cool that we could fit something in there if we plan that out just a touch more. I'm going to put it in back here, I think. That's going to make the most sense for what I think is going to happen here, where we can have some rides very close together and still maintain what they are. So that one's going to be opened up. I know, we'll get there, don't worry. We'll go in and add on our queue for that, and that will look all nice and good there. We have a carousel, which we'll probably throw towards the front of the park. Get something. Wow, can we remove that? Because that'd be nice just to stick it right in there. Oh, that's okay. We can put it right in there. The entryway is going to be over here. The exit will be right there. And then we'll go in and get our queue line for that established. Open that up. It's weird because, like, typically these fences are not good for the guests. If they look at the information here and we go into decoration, oh, okay, it's not hurting us too bad. But typically that hurts decoration really badly, that you don't want to do that. But for this one, I don't think you want to have like a wall there, because you want your guests to be able to see the ocean. That's part of the fun of being at the park, right? Like if you're at a beach amusement park, you want to see the beach. So we're just going to leave that as is. Put in a couple little elements here. Okay, not trying to go crazy with anything in particular, just trying to give it that feel of being at the beach. I'll probably put in some other stuff here shortly, but let's go ahead and get the thrill ride in here. A clockwork or twister. I think I'm going to go twister. And we're going to throw that guy down here. And we'll have the pathway bump out a little bit, I think. But we'll put that there. We'll have the exitway over there. Nope. Give me that entrance again. I'm just going to go there. Exits there. So this whole area is going to kind of shoot south a little bit. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good enough to put some more stuff in there. And then this area, we can get another set of rides or lines. There we go. Okay. So open that up. This needs to be in a building. Otherwise, it doesn't work for us because it's going to be a problem when it rains. So I don't know how beachy this one feels, but we're going to kind of just enclose this in an open air kind of structure. Something like that, and we'll have it go up one more layer. And I believe for rain stuff, it just needs to have a cover on the roof. It doesn't necessarily matter if the walls are covered in. They're not really worried about rain flying into this. So it's a little bit less work we have to do for that. So we'll do something like this. Again, I'm not getting real fancy with this. This is purely just to make sure our guests who come to our park have something to do when it does rain. So going back over into our roof area, we will get the basics of all this set up. And these little scaffolding kind of weird frames, yeah, that makes sense. They get a little trippy to look at after a little while. You just kind of get lost in all of the angles, especially since we're looking at stuff in isometric already. Just having a little bit more of that gets a little trippy after a little while here. So we'll get our glass roofs on this. I really wish I could just click, hold, and drag to copy all these over instead of having to individually click. That would be great. Especially for stuff like this where you're doing the same thing over and over again. It's very frustrating to have to click every single time, but it's okay. We'll deal. Are there glass walls? Yes, there are. So I wasn't gonna do this, but I think it will look better to enclose the whole thing in glass. And it's not gonna take us much more time to do that. Hopefully it'll increase the decoration rating a little bit. There we go. And then the second layer is going to close up there. What I should have done is put a little color in the glass for that second layer just to make it pop a little bit more, have a little bit more, I don't know, pizzazz. But that's fine. Okay. So we spent a bunch of money already. A whole lot of money. That's okay. I'm going to put a little fencing in over there. Mainly because you would never get that close to a coaster without there being something to keep you away from said coaster. So what feels the most beachy? Definitely probably these guys here, this fence. This fence is okay, but I like this guy here. I think that feels the most beachy. So we're just going to put that in there. That would never keep anybody out, but that's okay. We'll put similar ones in here and along this and along that. And we'll even put it along the back there. And oh, does it look beachy? We'll go with it. All right, and finally, I think we're gonna turn off this because that just looks weird. We're gonna put on our stuff here. Nope. I always do that every single time. I want to delete one of those benches. I always wind up removing the thing it's supposed to be sitting on instead of the actual one there. So go in here, 1, 2, 3. That would skip 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. So we at least have something that hopefully will look nice. This area is going to be a hot, crowded mess right away because there's just a lot going on in that spot. We're going to have to make sure we have trash cans plenty here. I'm not a big fan that I didn't think to make sure they had a lot of contrast with the benches. They're all the same tone, the same shade. We are not going to put in those. I think we're going to put in these guys. They feel a little bit more boardwalky, beachy to me. So can we not put that in on there? Okay, whatevs. Go in and put those in there. We'll put some lights in there at some point. And there we go. Okay. So that's our initial setup here. Just taking a look at our goals again. We are not allowed to spend any money on that. That has to be free for the ride. So let's go with like $20 to get into the park. A park rating or experience rating 80, 600 guests. Cleanliness rating is 75, and have all that done. Okay. So let's go ahead and turn the game on at this point. Hopefully we'll start seeing guests come. There they are. Look at them. How much money do you guys come with? This is another good question. How much money do you... Oh, I can't even tell because you're not... You're heading for soft... Oh, these are all my workers. Never mind. I was wondering why all the workers were... Or all these people were, one, dressed the same, and two, didn't have any money or info about them. So you guys are coming with a lot of money. A lot of money. Who comes to an amusement park with $179? Not me. So that's fine. We'll have to see what their thoughts are when they get into the park. If they're... I don't know what those people are talking about. Alright, so let's speed the game up a little bit. Get all these people coming to the park. We have our workers flying in here. These guys are excited. Let's see what their thoughts are as a group. as well as our first person, Sean Dean. It's going to be the first person that walks into our park. On the first guess, park entry fee is a good deal. And if we take a look back at our thoughts, it's still a good deal. So that means we're charging too little. We'll increase that quickly here. And let's just take a look at you and see what your thoughts are. You're rocking in with $139. You're $30 lighter, and it looks like good. We're doing a good deal with that. All right, cool. So we have 2 indoor rides. I'd like to have another higher intensity ride here. That's going to have some more stuff with it, but we're good as is right now. The coaster, I think we can make the ride trains look a little better. So let's go in here. Where are you at, train? Come back here. Ooh, that is an ugly looking train, so let's see what we can do here. Alright, we'll get that to be brown. Get that to be black. Okay, that's... okay, that's what the different color is. Alright, I got it. The front of the ride there. Nope, that can't be that color. Alright. We unlocked... oh, there's a reward for doing that. We have sculptures and statues now, which I guess is inside of here. Yep, we have sculptures, which I don't think I've ever put in, and statues, which we don't really need either, but that's fine. As far as our guests here, let's take a look. They want to go on the Ferris wheel. Park entrance deal is still good, so... make it 36 now. We're making money, which is good. We have some basic rides here. You can see that we can easily put in a few more. If we wanted to have this be an indoor ride, we can do that. We have space for outdoor rides. We have a nice big area for something like this, which I think will look real nice. And I'm packing stuff in really tight right now because I'm worried about the amount of space we're going to have, especially if we get like a coaster or something that's going to require a little more space for us. I'm concerned about the amount of space we're eventually going to have here. So we got our first rain in the winter. We're just going to add a couple little sunshades around. Maybe under each of these little areas that our guests would normally sit at. We'll have those. We'll bring this around to that. And at least the lights on everything look really nice. I really do like how this game makes the parks and stuff look when they're going through the various stages of the rides. So let's grab some colors from this and just see what all we can do. That gray color is not going to work. Let's grab that white. And do those make sense at all? No, not really. But if we get rid of them, you can see they don't have to hold up their stuff. I forgot to change the pricing on the... Did I change the pricing? Yes, I did. Okay. Yeah, it was really worth the money. Let's... Thank you for telling me how inexpensive that was. Good there. Look good there. Nobody's really done that. We still have people coming into the park. And our thoughts here. There are no high intensity rides, I know. That's my next problem that we gotta... Oh, people are not happy with the amount that we're charging for our entrance fee. So let's drop that down to like 32. 'Cause I don't want people leaving our park. This guy's leaving. Are you the one that didn't like it? Oh, you have so much money! Okay. Got that. This is a really cool entryway. When you come into the park, right off to the left, you have the bustling food stand. You have 2 rides that kind of jump out over, and then kind of go down and you see the rest of the midway. I think that's kind of cool looking. I can dig that. How are we doing on our other stuff here? So, our experience rating needs to come up. Part of that is that it needs to stop raining in the winter months here, but there's nothing we can do about that in this game. So let's go in and add some ferns. Does that sound like something that you'd have at a regular amusement park? Sure. Go in here, add some shrubs. And then we'll go with the big guy here. Make that nice different color green than what we have in the park anywhere else. And maybe these guys for a little pops of color. Again, the only goal of this is really just to try to make it look a little nicer so our guests are happier, stay longer, and increase our ratings with things that we need them increased on. It also just fills in. It looks a little nicer when we're looking at that. So let's speed this back up here. Okay, somebody made a popular vlog about that. Great. I don't know why people are doing that. Skyfall should be great, and then we can go into coasters and worry about that world here. What are the other coasters we had? See, the mini coaster doesn't do anything. The junior coaster doesn't do anything really. And you can see we've already used up a good amount of this map without doing a whole lot. Like, there's not a lot that I've done to this park so far that we already used up a good amount of our space. Like a wild mouse would be great back here because it's nice and compact, or some type of coaster like a monorail coaster would be great. The single rail ones that can just turn on a dime and be super exciting and super fun. You can do lots of stuff with them. That would be great to have one of those here right now. But we at least have people going on the ride. This one here, still medium, very high excitement. I forgot to name this. What do we call this one? We call it Sandy because we're at the beach. There we go. And all the other rides have basic names because we don't need to worry about that. Going back in here, taking a look at our guest thoughts. Twister was awesome. I know there's no high intensity rides. I'm working on that. Skyfall is going to be great. We can put that right towards the entrance of the park or back here, which I might do. And then we'll fill in this area as time continues here. But we have our Skyfall. Skyfall takes up almost no space. I mean, it's incredible that you can get this ride here that takes up almost no space, and then you still have room for more stuff. I'm going to put it farther back here. I'm really just trying to jam as much stuff as possible into a tight area. And we'll test that and see what it does, but hopefully that fulfills our high intensity ride desire for our guests. And we're going to put a big old queue line on that. Two, three, doom, doom. I'm really kicking myself using this type of trash can. They just don't look that nice. It's too much of that tan kind of color. A different shade would have been nicer on those. As far as we'll make sure that our guests on this ride have some type of covering. And we'll also make sure we hide how big this line is from everybody so they have to navigate through and you feel nice and claustrophobic when that happens. There we go. Alright. Put on our roofing area here. Go up like so. This guy here is looking like that. We have a high intensity ride, so we can get that rolling. And then roofing wise, we're going to go on this guy, and let's say we want to do a red roof. And I think some borders would look nice. Doesn't have to be crazy complicated. And does nope, not that. This. Does that look better or worse? I don't know. I think it'll be alright. We're getting a nice big line already for that, so I'm happy about that. Our thoughts, yeah, everybody wants to go on Skyball. Park entrance fee is still a good deal. And we did add a new ride, so it's going to cost another $4 to get in there. The nice thing about this park is it doesn't seem like it's too big of a deal to draw guests. There are a lot of guests coming in here. We should probably be halfway through our goal relatively soon. Oh, I didn't check to see if we have water rides. We do. We have a log flume. Okay. So we could easily put a log flume in here. I'm going to hold off on that for right now. Mainly because I want to save some space. Log flumes take up a lot of space, and I don't want to kind of give everything away yet with the park. So we're going to hold off on that for just a little bit longer. I think we're going to build a clockwork somewhere over here. And that's going to exist inside of a building so that we can more easily, let's have that come out a little farther. Alright, so that looks good. Then we can build a building around that and hopefully make it look a little nice. I'm not going to go crazy with the building on this one, especially because we're going to need some height on this. Do something like that. I'm not sure how far up we're going to have to come with these. So if I bring this all the way up here, I think we're cool. While we're doing that, we'll open this up. Roofing for this. We're going to go back to these guys here. Since we use a similar shade of building for the coaster, I think it only makes sense that we kind of build the same roofing structure for it. And then the roofs, put that black color. And we'll bring it all the way up here. Alright. Good. And this ride here still, they lied. We're getting a lot of rain. They said wintertime was a lot of rain. We're getting a lot of rain, period, here. I'm hoping we can get a spinning coaster. Nah. I want something that fits in this area coaster-wise that's not crazy complex but should work. I mean, it's a tight spot, but I think we can build something that works in there without too much trouble. So I'm actually pretty happy with the amount of money we're also making right now. Like, we've stayed around that $6,000 to $7,000 area pretty well, and we're doing good. They want to get something from hot dogs. Okay. Nobody's saying it's a good deal, which is exactly what I want. Oh no! See, their soft drinks are really worth the money. We can charge more now. Alright, we'll make $4 on that. How about our But our umbrellas, are people saying it's still really worth the money? Okay, $6 it is. We're just gonna gouge these people for every dollar we can. So we have lots of people in line for Skyfall. Let's go on it. We're doing real nice and well with that. We're still attracting a lot of guests. And we'll be able to continue our pathway down here eventually. We have a couple little holes that we might want to fill, but this does feel a little boardwalky, doesn't it? Coasters, rides just stacked all in real close to each other. Everything's nice and tight in. I kind of like it. So I'm going to hire another janitor, I think. We'll hire one more security worker. And I think it's time to hire another maintenance guy as well, just to make sure we have all of our bases covered with that. So we're making money here. I'm pretty happy about this. I do not want the spinning coaster. I want something different, but we'll see what that brings us and if I can build with it, because I don't think I've ever built a spinning coaster really in this area. So we have teacups we can put in, which I don't really want because of the high nausea, but we do have the spiral slide, which could slap right in there real easy and not be a big deal. That gives us that area for a potential coaster. I think I'm going to save that for right now and see if we want to get that in there. Although our lines overall are filling up pretty nicely. This guy is a high, medium. Thoughts on there. People do want to go on, just not crazy long lines. And everything except the twister really seems to have a decent line going right now, and that one is slowly filling up. I think it cycles fast enough that it's good to go. This one here, oh, we see it is making revenue. So I don't know how we decide what it's worth there, but you can see it did make money last month. So, or it generated $87 revenue and total revenue. So it's only cost us negative $500. So we're actually coming close to almost breaking even on that coaster, which is pretty cool as far as the operating costs, not the build cost, but you get what I'm saying. So we have a coaster here. Again, I don't know if I necessarily want two coasters right next to each other as far as their entrances and stuff, but I think it'll be okay. The spinning coaster, I really need to see it in action a little bit more to see if it actually makes sense or if I'm just being crazy with that. But we're doing a good job, I think, here. We're almost there on experiences, and we're over halfway there on guests, and we have to do this by year 2, right? December of year 2. Okay. So we have some time to do this. We do need to get moving here shortly with all this. These buildings are really cool. I like all these. Pretty fun. So we're going to slow the game down here and take a look at our spinning coaster, which is this. And if I take a look at these, like this Jolly Spinner, I'm just not sure how I would build this to be what it should be. Alright, but let's see if we pause the game here and go into our spinning coaster, if we can design something that will work for it. So we'll do what it had, which is something like that. And then I can put a nice lift hill going up like so. So we can't curve it down. Oh, we're out of space. That's a problem. Alright, so we have something like that. That's going to run into that. Okay, so that's not going to work going like that. So we had the option of curving the lift hill like that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. We can just save so much space right out of the gate. That's super cool. All right, so let's see. If we curve this thing going down, do something like that. And then there, we'll flatten it out. We'll flatten it out. There we go. Have it pop up. Have it turn there. don't know how this works. This looks pretty fun to me, but I've never really been on one of these type of coasters. I've been on, I think it's the 4 across spinning coasters. I don't know who makes that, if it's Gerstlauer or someone else. I've been on those, but I haven't been on something like this before. So let's see if we flatten that out there. And then have that, can we go out bigger? Can we go up? Alright, something like that. Not very spinny, but that's okay. Go in. Also don't know what those brake runs are there, but have it do a block brake. Empty space. Oh, we can't do that. Okay, so we'll bring this down. Then we can go on the block brake. Empty space. Actually, let's just have that. You can spin. Oof. I want to get one more train out of this. So if we do that, have this. Let's see here. Can I make that? Oh. So I do that and have this come out. It's going to run in. Okay. Can I do that? There we go. Okay. Alright, that I think will work. We'll turn on the spinnies right at the end here. Pop it up. Pop it down. Go in. We're gonna hit the block brakes. You're gonna trim the speed no matter what. Actually, to save a little space, I think we're going to put that in there. And we can build a queue line inside of there. Let's see. That speed's going to go up. We're going to bring that back to 3 trains. And let's see what happens here. I don't know how well this ride's going to work. It looks like fun just flying underneath that. Going up. Going up. Ugh. Alright. We'll continue to run this. We'll test it and just see what it actually says. Because sometimes these values get updated here pretty quickly. So let's take a look and see. This was not an expensive coaster to build, at least. And I need to go back and put some cameras on this one too. Yeah, it's still not a fun ride. Okay. Let's do some construction. And see what we can do to make this ride a little bit better here. Alright, so I think instead of that, this is going to come down a whole lot more. We'll flatten that out. Keep it just above. We have our experience rating. Cool. So we'll do something like that. We'll turn spinning on there, maybe? Ooh, we're in a tough spot right here. Because we go up too much. I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, see, it's going to run into itself there. The only reason that works is because it's not quite touching there. We've worked ourselves into a little bit of a corner here. So let's see. If I let that go like that and continue to bring it down, do something like that. Yeah, see, we even run into the problems where we really can't go underground. Alright. We're going to abandon this plan for right now. Maybe that's a problem for another day. Let's speed it up here and see if we get another type of fun coaster. And while that's happening, we can maybe expand some of our other basic rides here. So we have the Clockwork, we have Skyfall, we did all of those. Okay, great. Can we do a cool little log flume in this area? Probably. So let's see if we can do something that's kind of fun in this spot here. So we're not going to go bananas with anything here for right yet. I think we're going to do something like that. Have it drop down. Again, I'm just trying to get this to feel boardwalky, so this is going to fly over through this, I think. It's okay. It's not too bad. It's going to do something like this. Then we'll bring that around there. Not really a need to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway. So entrance and exit. You can influence the speed of the lift hill. We get 7 of those. There we go. So we have that going. This is going to be an underground queue. Mainly because it needs to be. That's going to be fine for that. And then we'll build some type of station house. Water rides always feel very industrial to me. Yeah, that's not the entrance way, so. There we go. We also need something to shield our riders or the everybody through that part of the ride itself. Because we're going to get drenched through there. And then what I think we'll do, this will kind of be a 2-story building. Again, kind of industrial looking, nothing too big a deal. But the roofing structure is going to come down over this. So it's going to be something like that, and then we can bring the rest of it up. And then through this area, we'll have the half wall. Kind of a little stacked like that. Yeah, I think that height's better. Something like that, and then we can put a pillar in there. Something like that, yeah, but it needs to be, let's make that black. Alright, so it's going to be, I think, that. And then maybe once I get my roofs in, I think I know what I want to do. But let's get the roofing in here first. I think we're just going to go with black for that. And then we'll bring that up a little more too. Do something along those lines. Fill in something like that. As far as walls go in here, I think we can put in some of those diagonal framed walls halfway up. We'll probably have to put in a little bit of some borders on this as well, just to finish it up. So, border-wise, is that mixing too many colors? I think the brown kind of gives it a little bit more of a homey feel. It ties it together just a little bit, so we're going to go with that. There's my half slope. Now what I should have done is put the support there to be that color or change these guys to be that color, but I think it's okay for right now. So our only goal, I think, left to do... Oh, we have to get people in the park, which is going up, and... yeah, we need to move. We have a year left, a little over a year. We're in September right now, which is good. We have people, guests going on these rides, which is what we want. That looks like garbage. I'm not sure how to fix that nicely, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. And we'll just kind of go with it from here. Alright. As far as... let's add some rocks. I know I'm using a lot of the same ones here, but we'll spice them up a little bit here in just a moment. It's nothing beautiful, but it looks better. We do need to get our fencing in there from before. Got our little fencing. I think that looks fine. We should be able to fit a ride back in here, I think. Spiral slide. Oh, I didn't realize how big the spiral slide was. Goodness. Okay, never mind on that. What are we doing on coasters? A wild mouse. Yes. That's exactly what this park needs, a little wild mouse. We can stick it back in here and have no problems with that. And hopefully that will be good for a little while to get some more guests back here. I'm just going to extend this pathway, say to there, get started with, and then we'll kind of explore what we need to do beyond that in just a little bit. But let's see. So trash cans, followed by a light post, and then we can go in and add our benches in. Alright, that looks all well and good. We'll get these next pieces in there. And then finally our lighting. We're also getting into the rainy season here soon, so this park has been consistent with, it did tell us when it would get people and when not, and that it would be rainy and such. We're probably going to put another bathroom in, so we'll maybe just extend this building a little bit. So that was the white walls. Or are those the tan ones? That was a tan building, okay. So go back in here. We'll add in stuff for that. Our roof for that one should be really easy, because they have one that's kind of like all of them coming to a point. Perfect. And then we can add in a bathroom. Thoughts overall? Sandy was awesome. Log flume was awesome. Alright. And guest number 500. Congratulations. We are going to probably want to put another food court somewhere back here as well. It's a long ways to the front of the park for the food court. So maybe we'll get it set in this area right here. So I'm going to pause the game while I build this, just because I don't want to deal with the eventual fallout of how this works. So start off with our depot. And that's going to connect straight back to there, which is nice and inexpensive. We have our queues for those guys. And then we can add in soft drinks. And hot dogs. And umbrellas, because we need those all the time. And we're going to do a vending machine as well, I think, just to kind of satisfy all potential areas. We'll add on that. We have our 4 areas that we need to get our guys around here for. And then we just need to build on the building itself. So let's see. We're going to keep this building going. Just maybe make it look slightly different than what it does right now, but so we'll do that. I think we're going to do something like this. And it's a slightly different roofing structure than what we had previously, but that's okay. Let's see, we haven't really used We have red, we have blue. Let's go with this little brown kind of color here. And that same one's going to be that color there. Cool. All right, and then we'll just put on some borders, and we are definitely going to need supports on this as well, or pillars or something to make those do their thing. So this is going to be the one part of the building that doesn't match, and it's mainly because I'm being lazy and I don't want to change the colors. But it would be fine. It kind of sort of works. All right, and then we need our pillars. So we'll get those locked in there like so. And then we can throw on a couple benches for people to eat at. And a trash can or 2 or 3. As far as what else we need another hauler and another zone here. So that's all going to be zone 2. You are hired and you now work in zone 2. And I guess if I was thinking more clearly, I could have put this bathroom right there and it would have worked better, but that's okay. Our purpose is served. Just need to adjust our pricing on these. Soda is going to be $5. Chips, $3. $4. Cool. And then we still have some money here that we can go in and build our wild mouse down here that we just happened to get. So again, I'm going to pause the game here just for a second while I decide how I want to build this. Can we do curved lift hills on this? No. Okay. Alright, we're gonna have to drop that. Like so. Alright, if we have a just be one, still have that come out like that. And we do need to put some cameras on this one, I think. Alright, if we bring that down just a little. Okay, that looks decent, I think. Lift hill speed's gonna rocket that up. We'll just have, let's see, 1, 2. I think 5 will be fine. We'll find out here. Another high intensity ride. Oh, that's right. We need to go and build another camera spot. So I think right here is where we're going to have that. 1 and 2, and then we'll build that into the station building itself. So our queue for this is going to wrap back around, come out there, and then this pathway will just come up, well, come up like this, and then we have spot for both of them. I think that looks decent and makes sense with the ride itself. And then wall wise, let's see, what do we want to do? Alright, we haven't really played with this color combination at all yet, so I think that's going to be our approach to this one. And it's going to be just a really small station house, nothing big deal. Probably stick a bathroom back there. And then throw on something basic. We should probably put an opening there if we're going to put a bathroom. And then roofing wise, and then I'll have to do something over there for all of this, but we'll figure that out later. Put another set of toilets back there. Then we'll open that up. Alright. And if we're thinking of this as like a actual amusement park ride area, they're going to need to have this area be enclosed or have something to keep guests safe, because that area would be super dangerous overall because it's right next to a coaster. So we're just gonna hedge our bets here and build on something that keeps everybody nice and safe. To figure out how we're going to do some of this roofing stuff here in just a little bit. But let's go take a look at our roofs. Yeah, see that corner there doesn't totally work, but that's fine. Actually, let's just make that. So I believe in the glass parts there's something that takes care of that corner. Yeah. And then we can put in the rest of the half peaks. And Going back in the walls. That's going to need something, and that's going to need something. Does it really work? No, not super, but that's okay. It's going with what we need to do here. We're slowly bringing in more guests. Impressively, we haven't had to take out any loans or do anything big deal so far, so I'm pretty happy about that. And we put in some ride stuff there. And we'll even put in a trash can there, even though it's not a spot for a trash can. It's okay. There we go. We hit our... oh, I thought it was 800 guests, not 600. Okay. We hit our goal for that. We just need to hold it for 3 weeks here. We did finish our goal in time. We're making a good amount of money, actually. I'm surprised by how much we're making. And our rides are functioning. They're doing what they're supposed to do. So, like, this guy here is not getting stopped up because that one's cleared of the brakes. This guy's able to go through and get on that without any problem. And I'm pretty happy with how this looks and is functioning overall. Especially the rides here, they're doing everything they're supposed to do. As soon as we get a full line, we set them out. And that one there is just kind of a buffer, just in case something else happens farther back. This was a good idea back here, because look at how many people are using that. That's where we're making most of our money, I think, is on that area. Let's just real quick take a look and see what our guests are thinking. So Sandy is their favorite one because it's the biggest swing ship. Awesome. Scenery here is amazing. Oh wow, it's actually not an area I thought it would be. I thought that would all happen over here where there's some of this, but no, they're really happy with that area. So if we go in and take a look at our stuff here in decoration ratings, our highest concentrations are here and over in this area. It's not really much over here, and then it concentrates back up over in this spot. So cool. We'll go in and just add in some extra rides to help us finish this campaign out. And this is really just kind of fluffing up our ride numbers, making sure we get all the stuff that we need to have in there and done and completed. Let's see where our palm trees are. Now we're going to make this a big giant palm tree. So it looks like we moved the path out of the way for that palm tree. Again, I really like the interaction with all these rides. We have a little lost space back there that I'm not super worried about. I should build a little guest house for, or place for our ride people. Parked people. Planning on a water coaster, that's never going to get built. See, the only one we're not have here is the teacups. We have those. We could build on one of these if we wanted to. I don't think that's necessary, but we could easily get more rides in there. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this park came out so far. There's obviously places need to fill in with some of this, but overall, if you take a look, there's a lot of depth and a lot of I shouldn't say depth, but it feels like an amusement park next to the beach. It's narrow, it's crowded, and rides are just stacked on top of each other. Like in this area, just in this spot, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 rides, all in a close area with a full food court with entrance to the park. And wow, our numbers are flying up right now. We're going to break 800, I think, before this is over. Then over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rides, and then there's a big break here, and then we have another couple of rides back in this area. So overall, there's a lot of stuff going on in this park, and there's just a good concentration of things to do. So we're going to continue just to add some more rides, just trying to maximize all of the kind of stuff that we have here, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how this all came out. So we'll just design in hopefully our last little area here that we have to worry about. There we go. We got the confetti. I'm gonna just quickly finish this off because it's gonna bother me not to do so. But we've been able to go through and complete this park without really much trouble at all. It was really a matter of making sure that you had a high intensity ride, which we got with Skyfall, and then once we had that, it was kind of off to the races. We were a little concerned about pricing, which I think we could still increase the price of the park here a little bit more and nobody would really mind. But I'm pretty happy with how this park came out. The density of rides I think looks nice, and it just works overall with what we had here. So very quickly, we're just going to make sure this is now considered an indoor ride and that guests would like to come on it in the rain. And I'm going to add some border detail as well, just because I think it looks so much nicer. The only thing I would really add to this park if I wanted to go through and play this a little bit more in depth is adding some more lighting. So going back here and taking a look at our lighting effects, not a lot here, but this little orb area, if you bring down the size, so let's say we bring them to 0.5, is that, yeah, that looks nice. If we did something like that, and then we could go in here and bring them up to the height that we want, and then lock them onto the grid. At nighttime, these things look really cool, and the rain works as well for them. They just scream. I just think they look so cool. Are we going every half? Okay. If you really want to, you can go in and really set these things to be placed. And then bring those over like so. I'm just putting in a little bit more work on this one just because it's the last time we're going to see this park. But if you take a look here and then we switch it over into nighttime, see how these come on? It just kind of looks kind of magical. It really has this like nice effect. I really dig how that looks overall, and I might even put some lights inside of there just to again add some nice effects to this in general. But if we take a little bit of time, and I clearly did not do that throughout the entirety of this park, but you can really make some cool looking stuff without a whole lot of extra work. So we have paper lanterns going through there. Do they make sense with everything? No, and that's okay. But if we go through here and take a look at what it looks like at night when everything comes on, you can see there's lights there. You have this ride that, while it doesn't necessarily like yell that it's set up for stuff, it kind of has this cool effect. We could put spotlights on things, so you get this like lighting effect on the rides themselves. Is it necessary? No. Does it look kind of neat? Yeah, it does. And then if you want to, you can even go in here and bring these up. And just, there's so much vibrance to that. Even these spotlights coming up just make the track look super cool. We could do the same thing with the coaster over here if we wanted to. So right now I'm just playing because I want to see what these look like. With just some basic highlights done to them. I think it looks kind of neat. Especially when you kind of go back and look at some of the stuff. But I'm really happy with how that looks. I think that looks super cool without having to do any real work. Getting these set in there and just having these rides flip around. This one kind of goes in and out of brightness and out of darkness, and you can see the flashing from the lights. It just looks super cool. But that's going to wrap us up here for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can see we're making tons of money, $7,000 a month, and we have a pretty successful little park here. We got almost 900 guests before that started going down, and I guarantee if we started building some more stuff, we'd have more people. But it definitely has that vibe of being a amusement park on the beach. We could put those lights on there too, and I think it would really look great. But I'm not going to spend any more time doing that. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.